Welcome to the Her Voice Shines podcast, where we celebrate the power, brilliance, and resilience of women everywhere. I'm your host, Shanasia Washington. Join us as we share inspiring stories and insights from extraordinary women who have found their voice and are making a difference. Together, we'll create a ripple effect, illuminating the path to visibility and empowerment. Let's break barriers, shatter ceilings, and lift each other up. In each episode, we dive deep into the journeys of women who have turned their challenges into triumphs and their dreams into reality. Whether you're looking for motivation, guidance, or a community that understands your journey, you're in the right place. Stay tuned and remember, let your voice shine. Let your voice shine. You have landed at the Her Voice Shines podcast. I'm your fabulous host, Shanasia Washington, streaming from none other than Houston, Texas, baby. H-Town in the building. Real proud Houston aficionado. However, with all this going on, your girl may need to move to the country, something a little bit slower, but that's not what we're here for. We're here for another amazing show and have a great guest that's backstage and going to come and do our normal drill. You guys know we bring the best guests here, and I always vouch for my guests because I do believe in their stories. So let's have her come to the stage, tell us her name, where she's streaming from, and let's get the magic of her story. Without any further waiting time, here's my very beautiful guest for today.
Hello. Thank you so much, Ms. Washington, for allowing me to come on the show. My name is Sophia Coulanges, and I'm streaming from the famous Dallas, Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas. So we have some Texas girly in the house, you being from Houston, me being from Dallas. So I'm excited to be on the show. Just a little bit about my story. I struggled with colorism for the longest. I didn't think my black was beautiful because what society had told me beauty was, I did not fit that standard. So it allowed me to shrink. It allowed me to go into rooms not having the confidence enough to stand tall, not having the voice to even speak up. So for years, because of the skin that I was in, I counted myself out due to the voices and the opinions of other people. And that brought about shame, that brought about guilt, that brought about low self-esteem, that brought so much pain into my life, fighting just a whole bunch of different things. And just to see where I am now, embracing the beauty of my skin, embracing the beauty and the power and the authority of my voice. It's been a journey, and to get here, and I'm still learning how to unlearn, right, and shut off the voices of other people. So my story is literally about how to love yourself, have confidence in yourself, and to know that not only does your story matter, but your voice matters as well.
Now, Sophia, you ain't tell me you was straight H-Town. I did know that because we had to reach out to you, but she ain't H-Town, she D-Town. So I got a whole bunch of D-Town people out there. I just made a post about 2 weeks ago. My sister graduated, and the ceremony was held in Dallas. We were out at the Toyota music hall factory, whatever it's called. We were over on that part of Dallas. And I was just in and out, and I told them, now look, y'all, I'm here and I'm thinking about y'all, but I'll be back in the coming weeks because I have quite a few Dallas links that have been waiting for me to be back out there in the D-Town area. And baby, they ain't no difference. There's traffic and folk everywhere. I was still ready to go. Don't get it twisted now, but I want to come back so I can be out there with my people. So we definitely got to add Sophia to the list. And let me tell you something. I was just cheering for you in that intro segment because baby say, I didn't know that my black is beautiful. I'm here to tell you right now, Queen, it's beautiful. It's glowing.
Thank you.
And don't you ever look in that mirror and let any voice, even if it's yours, tell you nothing different. Because sometimes your own voice will tell you something different. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Don't you ever
Yes,
let
ma'am.
nobody else tell you that ain't beautiful sitting in front of me. Because I come fight you myself. You don't know, but it only took me 3 hours and change to get up the road. I ain't nowhere. You understand? You understand? I ain't nowhere. And that's real facts. I say, oh, look at this queen up here talking and standing in here looking like she's looking and would have some doubt. No, can't do it. It's too many girls out here that's waiting to see you come forth how you are and say what you said for you to hide that anywhere else. I can go find you 2, 3 girls right now that need to see your face and hear it from somebody that looks just like you.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
I just had to start off with that. I'm a little crazy, Sophia, but my heart is
Be you. I like it. I like it. I like the energy.
my heart is real big and it runs real deep, but I can't do it no other way.
Yeah.
Than the way that I know how to facilitate this thing, because what was apparent in your story is that you didn't have a safe place and emotional support. I already know this. I already know the fact. So what happens when you don't have those things is that silence typically leads the road.
Yeah.
Silence typically becomes the thing. And that silence, unfortunately, if you don't have silence, if you have silence, you don't have anybody else pouring into you, you stuck with the realities that's here.
Correct.
You understand? And this is why this platform exists. So tell me how the silence started to shape the way you saw yourself. Because remember, that's why the right type of networking, the right type of community really, really matters. Because some silence has a place in our journey. Please believe me, there are times when you have to be in silence and solitude. There are times for that. But overwhelmingly, when you're growing and you're being shaped, community is very important. So I want you to tell me how the silence shaped you.
The silence shaped me in a lot of ways because one of the biggest things for me was I was always being compared, right? Comparison is a thief of joy. And I don't think my parents did it maliciously. However, it allowed me to believe that I wasn't good enough. So the silence of not saying that I'm beautiful, the silence of comparing me to my older siblings. I'm the darkest one of my siblings. And so the silence of not being called beautiful, right? When internally I'm looking for that. I'm looking for that affirmation. So those silent became loud in my world. So I'm not good enough. My Is it because I'm darker? Is it because what about me makes me not be able to get compliments, right? So those, or even the silent whispers of going to school. Kids are mean, right? Growing up, I had to learn how to fight because kids are mean, and the looks, right? The stares, right? The the slick aggravation, some of the things that they would say, right? Just as I walk by. And those things hurt. A lot of times people say sticks and stones don't break your bones, but words would never hurt you. Words hurt. And I think that's the biggest lie that we have fed into growing up, was like words don't hurt. No, words do hurt. Even the silent words that you don't say hurt. And I had to experience that, which caused me to make me feel as if the echo of I'm not enough become louder in my world than anything.
Mm-hmm. That's good. And that is so powerful, because one of the things, I have a son, he's 8 years old, and we start off with words. And I tell him, these words will make or break you.
Yeah.
And we start from there. So even in our interaction with each other and how I speak to him, there are things I wouldn't be caught nowhere even saying to my son. So
Yeah.
me having to have a reflection on myself and say, how would you want to be coached? How would you want to be loved? How would you want to be maybe even mentored or loved during a mistake, right? So it's that intentional with my words when I speak to the child that God gave me, because he's not my child, he's God's child. And I
Yeah.
am just filling a role here as mother. So something so beautiful that he will give me, I can't play with communication and words. We
Yeah.
take it very seriously in my house. It's a very serious thing, because those of you who watch this podcast, you guys know I speak intentionally about the things that you say. Sometimes affirmation, sometimes, boundaries and things of that sort, because it's so important. The world would like to tell you, as Miss Sophia told you, that words will never hurt me. A word sometimes can hurt harder than a blow to the chest physically.
Correct.
Because the physical pain at times can sometimes heal.
Yeah.
The words go into the depths of your mind, the depths of your heart, the depths of your soul. That's why they hurt.
Yeah. And they're always on repeat.
They're always on repeat. I want to go here because now Miss Sophia, she's working in juvenile justice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God bless you, child. Let me tell you.
I need all the praise.
Look, God
I need
bless you.
all the praise.
I haven't done much on the justice side of it, but now so I'm in a couple schools now. I kind of go to the school, so the juvenile part is fine, but the justice I'm not there. We've done some stuff with prison women, and many of them started in the juvenile justice system, so it kind of ties back to that. And most of them have had, because of their situations, not bad women. I've actually found them to be beautiful women, smart women, and their life and their situations landed them there. So my heart is just so open for the justice system, especially women that look like us that come through there.
Yeah.
Anyway, because I've had that closeness. But girl, let me tell you, that's a burnout job. that's a that's a real doozy of a job. And the beautiful thing about this space is that I get to talk to all kind of industries, all kind of women. And a lot of people don't give people that work in the justice system enough credit for what they have to endure. So for you, working full time, and that comes with even probably burnout and some levels of self-doubt, as we kind of talked about, they're still showing up maybe now. Tell me how those struggles kind of show up for you now, and what are you doing to keep Sophia fueled for working a kind of high impact job?
So some of these struggles when they show up, right? Um, Especially I'm a supervisor at my job, and being a supervisor, you have to lead, right? And it's a male dominated job. In industries like that, it's male dominated predominantly. And so I have to lead a group of people, and sometimes they're older than me, right? I'm younger than a lot of them. And so sometimes there's those whispers of you're gonna fail, or you're not doing good enough, you're not leading properly. So I'm always thinking, overthinking, right? And then imposter syndrome shows up a lot of times. And for me, one of the things that I have found to be helpful in my journey that helps me at work is going into therapy, right? Like going into therapy and unlearning those things as they show up, being honest and open and transparent about my struggles, and then having my therapist dig about where was that first reaction, where did you feel this first, right? Because before something plants into a tree, there was a seed that was planted, right? And then that seed then bear roots, so we have to cut the root off before we start even trying to cut down the trunk. So a lot of times I find myself in therapy going back to the roots of the thing, right? Which has helped me be more confident, be stand more tall in my position at work, where I am leading with confidence. I am leading with assurance. And then two, also prayer. Like praying is my foundation. The word of the Lord is my foundation, and allowing the word of the Lord to be what I stand on. What does the Lord say about me? Right? Like who is my identity in, right? And I think one of the things as of recently that I remember driving to work, and me and the Lord was having a conversation, and I just started to repeat this. My visibility is secured because my identity is known. I am seen, I am valued. I is because of my identity in who God has called me to be. My visibility to the world is only visible because of the known identity I have in Christ. And because of that place, because I know whose I am, it allows me when I step into rooms now not to shrink. When I step into places, when I step in my job place, to stand tall and make decisions not out of a fearful place, but as a place of authority, because I have that authority in Christ who is within me.
Come on here. I was gonna try to give him a little gold offering bucket. I can't find it. To see if we to pass the offering bucket. But we not. But we ain't. I'm acting like I got some sisters. They ain't gonna try to find a bucket to put it up there. But girl, I'm telling you, it's real life, because when people see me in this journey, they assume that Shanasia woke up this confident, or she could. Shanasia could barely even speak as early as 5 years ago. And people don't believe that about me. But you know what shifted? I said, guess what, Shanasia? Even your identity at times don't matter. It is who he said you are.
Correct.
Because guess what? You're a person and you get freckled. And some days you feel like a nut and some days you don't.
Yeah.
But guess what remains the same? It's how he sees me.
Yeah.
And that adoption of that in my life is really this space is a product of that. Yeah. And I really cannot tell people that enough. I say, because you have to understand, when competing priorities come, when different territories come that I'm not necessarily prepared for, just as a human in my human flesh, there are going to be some doubts that try to creep in.
Yeah.
That's still going to happen. It doesn't matter if you're doing the thing that you love to do. There's always life that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's when I have to sit with him. And that's when that solitude becomes a good piece of the journey, because I got to hear you. I can't even handle my own thoughts right now. I have to literally focus on you and your thoughts and your plans for me. And when I'm going out and I'm speaking to so many women, particularly women that look like you and me, they feel like they're so far away from me or whoever they think that they want to be like or whatever. And I tell them, I don't care if they're 10 or 12 years old.
Yeah.
I tell them straight up, baby, you were created. It ain't even if I sit up here and gave you kudos and A's and all this kind of stuff, it don't even compare to what he can give you if you adopt to seeing yourself as he created you. Yeah. And they've never actually put that into like, oh, I'm just so young. I say, no, this is the perfect time, because maybe you wouldn't have had to go through as many shrinking moments as I did, because I had a lot of them, Sophia. I left corporate in 2021, but I mean, I took like a quote unquote year off. I was just trying to figure out what the heck was going on. The pandemic was going on, and 2022 was like when I finally I had a service for sale, kind of, sort of. But prior to that, I spent 13 years in financial services in a male-dominated career, and I worked at an Australian company where I was like, it wasn't even that many Americans, let alone, let alone Black Americans. I was like the triple minority. Like, I never even had a peer manager that looked like me, and I worked there at that particular company for almost 8 years. So there were many moments, Sophia, where I had to shrink. And what happened was that when my umbrella of grace moved from that place, and the writings are on the wall. He said, I'm your father and I love you and I will never leave you. He said, but it's going to hurt until you decide to wake up, walk up and link in with me. I'm still going to be there with you because he doesn't leave.
Yeah.
But I'm going to whoop your butt a little bit up in here until you figure out. You don't get a little whooping now until you figure out that I am who I said I am. And the desires of your heart I can really give to you. But it's going to take you. So I had to ask myself, was it worth me sitting there shrinking, being underpaid, underworked, broke back, broke mountain, whatever, broke, spirits, everything? Are you going to for real step it out? I ain't telling you it's going to be easy this other side either. Yeah. That's not what I'm saying. But you got to choose. And the amount of conflict I had in 2020, I talk about a lot in this podcast. I had so much internal conflict, and I'm like, dang, like what a time to have internal conflict, because the world is going crazy. Ain't no toilet paper, ain't no bread, ain't no nothing. We don't know what. Like, let me have a good mind right now. It's already enough going on. Yeah. But that was really, I had so much internal conflict, and I was just thinking like, Lord, it is just too much going on. And I had I hope I have it here, because I hadn't brought this thing out in a while, but I guess yesterday when I left, I had this. This was the mask, Sophia. This was the mask, and I ain't talked with it in a while until this week. It's all tattered up. It had been over there. I had this mask, right? And when I was talking, and I had a mask of fear, I had no voice. I used to have to code switch all the time. You see, I'm crazy, so I can go up in there like this. But I had to code switch all the time. I was insecure, and I was shrinking down so much.
Yeah.
And really what happened, people would see on the outside, we have the job, at that time my son was, you have the car. I say, but all this is killing me. And what I realized It's that it's really not that important because whose timetable? Who else? I mean, in one day this could be good to somebody else and bad the next day. What does this even all mean?
Yeah.
So my thing for me, like now, I said, no, I wake up and I do it intentionally. I wake up and I ask God to give me the strength. And I wake up and I do it in a way that it doesn't matter what comes, hell or high water, I know who I am in Him.
Correct.
I know who I am in Him.
Yeah.
And nobody can never take me back to where I was prior to me starting this journey, prior to 2020. I'm a different woman, Sophia. And I will never go back. So you keep waking up every day and you keep walking in that, Sophia, because you'll be closer to your freedom than what you know.
Jesus.
Every time you try to teeter, it's not worth it. It's not worth it to be in bondage. It is not worth it. I am as free as a Black woman can be in this country. Do we need to edit it? I don't know. I am as free as a Black woman can be in this country. And I mean it, and I stand 10 toes down on that. I can't afford it. I say, man, I got a son in there that I'm raising. And I remember when I was pregnant with him I had him in 2017. And I told us a couple times that when that boy was in my womb, I was writing letters to him. And I was writing very surface level stuff. Oh, mommy's tired. Lord, man, there's a lot going on. And it was just me talking to my son because we're going to have conversation. And I got to one letter and I was just declaring all this stuff, Sophia. I said, man,
Jesus.
I was declaring this stuff over his life. I said, man, I want you to walk this space upright. I want you to know who you are. I want you to have a good life and I want you to have all the desires of your heart, but baby, know who you are. I was just declaring all kinds of different things, you know. Lord, let your mind just be clear and let it always want to learn. You know, you can go anywhere and learn. So I'm just talking. And you know, when I got to the end of that letter, I just bawled. I started to break down and cry. I said, I said, what is this about? And you know what? All those things that I declared over that boy, I hadn't done for myself.
Jesus.
Hadn't done it for myself. I still got the actual letter up there in the top of the closet. I will never forget that letter. It changed my life. It changed the track of my life. And I remember saying, like, here I am declaring over this stuff over this unborn child I haven't even met yet. And I do believe that these things can come true. And he's like a clear voice said, well, why haven't you asked for yourself?
Jesus.
So why haven't you asked for yourself? I'm your father. I'm your father. Why haven't you asked for yourself? And it was like in that moment, I never knew that this would be down. I never knew what was going to happen. Like I still went to work. I still stayed there an additional 3 years. Never even knew what to really just pray for. But I remember when I said, Lord, this is going to be one of the seasons you have to teach me because I don't even know what to pray for. But this feeling that I'm hoping that my son has one day, I got to figure out how to get that for me.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that I can't afford to do, I said, I have to be a living and walking example.
Correct.
Of your grace. And a lot of times, you know, we as parents or leaders or mentors, we can do a lot of pouring. We can do a lot of pouring. And so, you know this, I'm going to get to this next question. But we can do all this pouring and to other people when he really just wants to pour it into us.
Yeah.
So that he can see some results of that connection to him.
Correct.
You understand? And that's all I'm saying. So when I thought about that, I mean, it was just, you know, it was just so profound. I'm pretty sure if I go pull that letter down now, it probably will, I could really go back to that place because it was just such a clear space and time. And I never wanted, like, one thing I told my son, like, I don't care if I left tonight or today. One of the things, even at your tender age as 8, you can say some things about your mama that the title, the podcast, the awards can never tell. And I'm not leaving this space without that. I'm not willing to do that. I'm not willing to not let him know who I am and who God is in my life. And my story as a woman has nothing. I mean, sometimes they connect, but it has nothing to do with all this other stuff that you may see mom involved in.
Yeah.
And I think that if indeed we become that committed to sharing our stories and being transparent about a lot of stuff that goes on that people try to sweep under the rug, we as a women, particularly Black women, will be, I believe, in a different place.
We will. And I think it's really about the identity piece. And I mean, it's just as of recently, the Lord had to tell me, because I'm in this journey right now with God, and the Lord had to tell me, Sophia, I don't have a supply issue. And I was like, Lord, what are you saying? He was like, I don't have a supply issue. The issue I have is my children has an identity issue. And I'm a visual learner, so when the Lord speaks to me, he has to like give me an analogy or something so I could see it visibly. And so he was just like if your mom have if you're a beneficiary or a joint on a joint account with your mom, you have access to whatever money she has in that account. She said you guys are joint heirs of the kingdom, meaning you have access to everything that I have in the kingdom of God. Everything is for you. But when you guys come to the kingdom, you guys come not in your own identity.
Come on. Come on. They
He
coming,
was
they
like,
coming, they coming with the mask on to him. And he
they're,
know you. He created you.
he's like,
Even my prayer life is different. Did I tell you, did you see one of the things I told you? And I was like, Lord, I don't even know what to pray now. That's when it started
yeah,
getting, it's when it started getting real. Because
correct.
even my prayers were masked.
Yeah, because it's like we're rehearsed, and the Lord is like, I don't need that. I need a surrendered heart. I need a postured heart. I need a submitted heart. I don't need this performance. I don't need this fluff. Come to me when you're broken. Come to me when you're happy. Come to me when you're sad. Come to me when you don't know what's next. All I need you to do is come. I have the supply. I have the answers. I have the solution. But a lot of times y'all not coming in fear. Y'all trying to come put together. So I can't heal the very things that you guys don't present. Even though I'm all knowing, I still need to know from you.
See? And that's where the relationship happens. That's where the real that's where the real relationship happens.
Yeah,
That's where the real prayer life happens.
my God.
That's what I mean. Now it's like, well, he know I'm crazy. Like he know he created me like this. I'm like, Daddy, okay, I'm gonna leave you alone because like I'll be talking to him. So I'm like, okay, you heard it. Okay, you heard it good this morning. Okay, I'm gonna leave you alone. I know there's a lot of other people on the main line. Okay, so but he be all right. He be all right.
Correct.
Cause try to be gracious and let other people come through while I'm hogging the line. But I am telling you, it is really some miraculous things that I can't even like. It doesn't even make sense the way that they even come together, and that's a direct relationship of my prayer life because now the prayer is so intentional. Now the prayer is like so intentional. Of course, they're covering prayers that you just do gratitude. Lord, come in, you're welcome in the day. I call those grounding prayers, right? We're all gonna say, you're welcome in my home. That's always gratitude. But man, when you got to get down there and get specific, look, I'm tired.
Yeah.
And I'm trying, and y'all know if you see me try X, Y, and Z, and if that was not in your will, Lord, I really apologize to you.
Yeah.
I need the strength right now to number one, keep going and keep me open to the flow of you. And I got to hear from you.
Yeah.
I got to hear. I cannot move in this next season or anywhere without you.
Correct.
And sometimes I just have to sit in there in silence, Sophia. And that's what I have to offer. Mm-hmm. And I said, Lord, maybe I haven't prayed for the right thing right now, but I'm sure that you will reveal what this next go around will look like when I talk to you again.
Yeah.
And I'm going without no barriers, no nothing. If it hurts, Sophia.
Yeah.
If it stinks, Sophia. If that made me mad, Sophia, it made me mad. And that's what I'm presenting to him. Because I wanted to be that clear and that precise. And when I speak to somebody that I love.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this because I want to make sure we touch on this. Now, there is a such thing of turning wounds into wisdom. Baby, I got a whole lot of wounds, so maybe I got some wisdom. We don't know. The verdict still, the verdict still out, Sophie. It's still out. But there is a turning wounds into wisdom. But how do you do that without bypassing the pain? I, I want you to talk on that because a lot of times when we are going through, we don't want to feel the pain, but the pain is really a part of the process.
Yeah.
And we want the wisdom, and we know that there are some wounds, but we want this to be a journey of true healing to move forward. How would you tell somebody, don't bypass the pain, but you're going to get some wisdom out of it? Because sometimes it's hard for people to really understand that pain is a part of everyone's journey.
Yeah.
None of us, will leave without it. What advice would you give them on how to navigate this space of pain and then hopefully come out on the other side with some wisdom?
You can't confront. You can't confront or heal. You can't heal what you don't confront. I think that's my biggest advice is you have to confront it. You have to confront the pain as hard as it may be, because you're not going to heal. It's like, for example, it's like cutting down the trunk of the tree and you didn't pull out the roots. It's going to grow back, right? I call it the peekaboo syndrome. The things you do not address, it plays peekaboo in very pivotal or big moments of your life, right? It's like peekaboo, I'm here. Everybody knows that game, right? It's you hiding like peekaboo, hoping that the person doesn't see you, hoping that it does. But when your pain is playing peekaboo with you, that means it's time to address it. When you see you're about to get the job, but imposter syndrome is showing up, that means there's a seed that was planted that makes you feel unworthy enough or incapable enough. When you're about to go into a relationship but you want to run, right? You want to self-sabotage. There is a seed that was planted. So you have to pluck out the seed, pluck out the root. And you can't do that if you're not being honest. And honesty comes with addressing the pain.
I love it. And I'm so happy that you spoke on it because just like she said, just like if you got a toothache, baby, and you know that tooth got to be pulled out and you started trying to, give me a little line of cane, shoot it in there. When that junk wore off and you eat a little piece of a little brownie, it's over for you. You're going to be in there shaking and trembling like nobody business. That tooth has to be extracted.
Yeah.
So you can patch and patch and patch like all you want, but until you do the thing, you're still going to be connected to that pain in some form, some shape, some type of way, some type of limit. And to be honest, Sophia, a lot of people are more comfortable in the pain because their body has learned how to adjust and absorb and be in it. And to get out of the pain and heal is more work in their eyes than just staying in the pain. So, and that was another thing that I had to understand about other people's journey. Sometimes we do want the best for them and we want them to be out of that pain and go, but also too being, intelligent enough to know that everybody is not going to be in the same space to get out of their pain, right? As you
everybody's not ready.
Everybody's not ready. And I had to, oh my gosh. And that was one of the things, Sophia, that was pretty tough for me when I first started this particular journey, because as a nurturer, I'm a very nurturing person. And, once you kind of in that inner circle, I'm like, okay, I may not, don't call me every day now, but when you do call me, now don't call your girl every day. I don't have like an everyday type personality and energy. But when I know that I have to be there, like you're not gonna find, probably no better connection because I'm gonna be there from a pure place, a pure energy, no judgment. Yeah. Put it out there because look, we all his children. I fall short. Go ahead and put it out there. But leaving there knowing I'm like, and you can tell, like, okay, they not ready.
Yeah.
They done dumped all this stuff right here on me, Sophia. And as soon as I close this door, they're gonna be right back in that mess.
All right.
Quicker than what I can even say. And wanting that so bad for them. And I said, no, I said, you've done your part. You showed up. You've been the good
Yes.
friend, the good loved one. You've allowed that space, and now you have to let them work out that part for themselves because you can't do it.
Yeah.
And
You
that
can.
and that was hard for me. So, I'm better now, but when I first started, particularly like in the space and wanting to, and thinking that everybody was going to be, not everybody, but some of these people were going to be in the race,
Yeah.
to the finish. They were not ready. But I'm mature enough now to know that that's okay. And if and that's where they are in their journey, I do hope that one day they advance past that. But guess what? My timeline was against somebody else's, it will probably make them look like, what was she doing all that time? So
Yeah.
our timeline is really with God. So me having enough grace for myself and knowing who He is, and just grateful that He even brought me through some of the stuff that could have taken me out of here. I
Yeah.
can't do nothing but extend that grace on the
Yeah.
other end of it, and be in a genuine prayer that I want you to be free, and I hope that you get that before you leave this space. But also saying, Shanae, draw the line and allow them to go with your Father who you love, and He loves them too, and they work on that together. And I'm just happy because, girl, like there were some times I had to sever Sophia that it's kind of like a woo,
Yeah.
it's like a foot or something. I got a whole bunch of fungus. You better cut this thing off, or the fungus keep on growing up.
Hmm.
That type of thing. I had to literally just like cut it off. And these are people in relationships. You were like, y'all been, you've been knowing
Correct.
these people since you were 2, 3, 4 years old, and to be in a place where you have to just cut it off, it's definitely hard. But I am mature enough in my journey to respect theirs, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
That makes a
Um,
lot of sense.
I want to ask you about her voice impacts.
Yeah. That's my baby.
I'm here for it. I am here for it because I love missions that are somewhat aligned and very, very similar. Because there's a lot of people out here that say they're doing the work. Girl, they ain't doing no. They ain't really doing the work, and that's just neither here nor there. But when I saw that, I thought that was very powerful, and I did like it. And I know that it's more than just coaching. I like to say it's an ecosystem because I believe
Yeah.
that's what you're doing. Tell me what gap that you're trying to fill when you created it. So when you had that in mind, of course, like even with this, it's evolved since the
Mhm.
time that I started. But tell me what the overall arching mission of Her Voice impacts, and what's the gap that you're looking to fill.
So, the overall mission, I believe that behind every woman is a story that gave them a voice. A lot of times, where we do not share our stories and we feel as if our stories might not be big enough, or I didn't go through too much, or you guys downplay it, or nobody's going to listen, but you'll be so surprised about how much people is struggling with the very thing that you overcame. And because you are so afraid of sharing your story, that somebody else is stuck. So the gap that I'm trying to fill is to have women become more confident in telling their stories and sharing and not and being free, right? Free to use their voice to impact. Your voice is impactful. Use it. Somebody needs that story to get out of bondage. Somebody needs to see a representative of the very thing that they thought they cannot get out of, and see it physically, hear it, right? Because a lot of times people needs an example, right? And when you share your story, you make that impact. When you use your voice, you're making impact, and it's a ripple effect. But a lot of women, they don't want to heal. It's the healing piece. It's that piece of, I don't want to revisit the pain of this story, so I'd rather not talk about it. But we remain stuck. We have generations that are stuck. Our children, right? When you have children, you don't tell them who or where you have been to get you to where you are now. Sometimes we're repeating cycles, we're repeating patterns, right? I want to break patterns of, because I work at a juvenile system, so I see the patterns in my clients of, I bet you I could tell where this come from. I could tell what side of the family that comes from, right? Just based on some of the stories that they share. And so I want to be the voice that tell women hey, look at me. Not only do I have a story, but I have a voice that stands and talks in authority. And you have that same person living on the inside of you, right? You don't have to change your voice. You don't have to shrink. You can stand tall and be bold and share your story and be courageous. And so teaching women that skill, right? Teaching women that their story has importance and it's a part of their freedom. And so that's Her Voice Impacts in a nutshell.
Beautiful mission. And I'm so happy that you are pretty much standing in solidarity and doing this type of work, because it is, Sophia, when I tell you it is so meaningful, it is meaningful work. And if it is really what you know that you're called to do, and I'm telling you this as I'm telling myself this, I pray you stand in it. I pray that you don't teeter. I pray that whatever he has for you, that it comes to fruition. And I pray that you believe that as I say that.
Yes, Lord.
Even on the days that you feel like, man, it's not working, I'm not seeing it go, it's not taking off, like, stand in it, Sophia. And I'm telling you as I tell myself, because transformation has happened, even in the time I share with women on this podcast. Transformation has happened in real time, right here.
Jesus.
And it seems like just when I'm like, Lord, let me go on and give me an old job or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't really got time for this. And that's how I be telling, like, Lord, look, your girl.
Truth is, I'm tired.
Truth is, I say, look, like, what has happened? And he's like, man, this girl is crazy. And see, like, soon as I get weary, it may even be here somewhere, but I get the most refreshing confirmation from a dang on stranger.
Yeah.
Somebody that you wouldn't even think, well, how did our paths even cross?
Yes.
So when you're thinking about, what you're doing, you really are doing things that can perpetuate generational healing. And
Yes.
that's nothing to play with. You talked about that a little bit in the last segment, and it hinged back onto the ladies that you see in the juvenile system. And most of that, a good 90% of that, is all generational related.
Correct.
So the fact that you are saying, and you can identify that not only in what you do for a profession, but you've come out and made a business, you can see it almost full circle, that the power in what you do is needed. I mean, I can't tell you enough. Like, this didn't even seem like it'll be a part of my life and my journey. Like, most people would have never thought that this, believe it or not, shy, back of the girl room. Most people don't believe it now. I don't know why, but they would have never believed that this would be his story for me.
Yeah.
There was a time I'm like, well, Lord, I had been silent maybe for so long. Maybe you preserved my voice. I became a fantastic listener and all these different things while I was so quiet. So now I am able to pick up on things that many people don't, able to facilitate natural conversation that people like, how do you talk to? So all these little things that have been a part of your journey, Sophia, they were meaningful. And as you begin to get up, I'm serious, as you begin to get up, and it's more that you share your story, I am telling you, the ripple effect would or will occur.
Yeah.
Even when you don't actually see it. Somebody may backdoor 2 years from now, girl, I remember I seen with that crazy lady on Her Voice Shines podcast. and you
said, Jesus.
I literally have people that I don't even know these people are on my social media. They will inbox me on Facebook and say, you still at it? I've been following you for so long.
Yeah.
Never even know that the seeds are being deposited. So even when you don't see it, Sophia, I want you to stay rooted in it.
Yes, ma'am.
Your voice is needed. And I can't stress that enough. When I see people that start things and they move from this is what I've been to really, really trying to help others and doing it in a way that's genuine, my prayer is always for them to stay the course.
Yeah.
And please just stay the course. Just hang in there. There was something else I wanted to make sure I asked. Okay, this is a good one because this is something that I deal with and probably will deal with more this year in 2026. When you're building an impactful brand like yours, tell me about partnerships and you're going to be stepping into speaking and publishing. This is probably something that you should always constantly cycle through as you're building anything. Tell me about connecting with people who share your same mission, who share your same who share your same heart. I'm just here to tell you that as your brand evolves, and people, I'll come and speak with you, or you having something and they say, well, can I come speak at your thing? Sophia, tread lightly. Remember, I want to be transparent with you.
Yeah.
Because you want to be open and allow different people in, but the culture of your brand and this ecosystem that you're building, it has to feel a certain way.
Yeah.
And that needs to be tied to your core mission and values. It's just like when you go visit the church and you walk up in there, let's talk about go sit over there. I said, what y'all got going on?
I ain't coming back over here.
What y'all got going on up in here? Or whatever. Like, and I say that because a lot of people don't think about that. I mean, I've been an operation. I was an operations manager for a very long time. So, operations is very important to me, how things go. It has to be an organized workflow. It has to be all those things, right? And that's just for the logistics side of things, right? It's just building trust. But culture is huge for me. If somebody's helping me, I don't care if they're helping people with QR codes or whatever. There's a certain thing that we're going to do. I mean, we're not coming in with this nastiness, this cattiness, because you have to remember that as you continue to grow. So I want you to tell me in terms of partnerships and building, what do you hope that if somebody says, okay, Sophia, let's partner, or okay, Sophia, let's do this. What are you looking for in that person? I'm asking this because you need to be thinking about this.
Okay.
What are you looking for in that person?
That is a great question. That is a very great question. Hence, I haven't really put in thought, but as you were speaking, I think the very things that I have is, are you kind? What values do you have that, you know, do you have an impactful mind? Do you have a transformational mind? Because like I want to see transformation. My thing is I want to create spaces where people feel seen, valued, and transformed. Whenever somebody connects with me, whether it's for 2 minutes or whether it's for a lifetime, I want those encounters to be impactful. And with partnerships, I want to hear people's heart. And I think sometimes, like you mentioned before, God puts you in a season so you can listen, because people tell on themselves, right? If you just pay attention and you listen to their heart. I'm not really one to be quick to move and do things with people, because I'm very intentional about, one, who's in my space and who's in my atmosphere, and then two, like, because like energies are real, right? Spirits are real. And I think a lot of times people do not really take that very seriously. And for me, as I build, as I grow, I want people that also wants to see transformation, not for accolades, not for rewards, not to, broadcast and things like that, but truly have a desire, a pure heart to see women, rise up, right? Like, and I think that's one of my biggest things. Is like, what are your heart for people? What's your heart for people? For me, if I don't ever have a platform, my ability to serve people and make sure people are good is enough for me, right? Like my my ability to just be kind to people is enough for me. I just love treating people well, because I know how that feels to not be treated well, right? And to be counted out and to not be counted in. And I don't ever want people to feel that way. So as I go into partnerships, I really, that question is really going to have me think as I like plan things out for the following year, but also like really hear people's heart, just about what their thoughts are about transformation, as it relates to other people.
Absolutely. And it was a strategic question because in the beginning, many founders, they don't typically think about that. And I was like, especially if you work the job, think about if you was, building a team at work, y'all had a group project and who got the stronger too. I'm just gonna take that into what you're building and make the best of that, because you don't always have the control when you're doing it, in someone else's business or, work or career. But when you think about that, and the thing that really makes people like, man, that was good, or even if I can't buy for them today, as soon as I get that money, I'm coming back to them. So even like down to this particular interaction that we have here, it's going to be always pure, always genuine, because guess what? I don't get to speak to Sophia the first time ever again.
Yeah.
I don't get that opportunity. So that's the same thing as you're going out and people are experiencing you really for the first time. What that means, like, everybody know I'm a Wayne hit. I love Lil Wayne. And, whatever. I still listen to Lil Wayne, okay? Every day, whatever. We don't know. But one of the things that he says that's always in front of my mind, he said, when he goes into the studio and he writes verses, he writes the verses if someone is going to hit play on him for the first time. And this man been in the game for so long.
Yeah.
So that's a certain level of decorum that he gives to each and every verse that he writes. And that to me speaks volumes. Because to me, it doesn't matter who the person is, and we've had a variety of different titles and bank accounts and all kinds of different statuses. You're going to get a holistic experience of Shanaydra as best I can in the short time that we're allowed, so that you can understand who the person behind this brand is. And also, when you leave here, I know that I've given it my best to make this a pure exchange. It's not going to say we're going to be buddy or, it's like this, but I have done that in integrity and also in heart that aligns with this brand. So think about that as you build, and, do things that, even though it may be something small and it don't have to be anything very specific, but always lead with that core value of how you want people to experience Her Voice Impacts.
Yeah.
Even if you get to a point to where you have to scale and you have more people working for, make sure that's instilled in them as you guys grow and expand. That's all I'm saying, because you don't want some people that don't have the same kind of. You want different people, you want diverse perspectives, but they have to be at core, like you say, kind. They have to be at core wanting to care for people. So, and I think a good segue and a thing to kind of tie into that, I want you to tell me, what do you hope that people experience working with you for the first time? If you could get a glaring review of somebody and it goes, hey, they're on camera. Hi, how was it like working with Sophia and Her Voice Impacts for the first time? What are you hoping they're saying on that testimonial video?
One of the biggest things that I want when I get a testimonial that I would love for someone to say, or the first interaction, how safe they felt to be themselves. That I created a safe place for them to be them. And I think for me, that would bless my heart. Like, there was so much peace, there was so much love in that space, that all I wanted to was be myself. Like, I didn't want to hide. I just wanted to authentically be me. And I think that is the best testimonial I can say that would do so much for my brand. If every testimonial said that, I've done my job with Her Voice Impacts.
I love that. So just keep that in the forefront, Sophia, and you can really do some really good things with Her Voice Impacts. And if you show up and do it, the women will come. I'm telling you, if you show up and do it consistently, they will show up.
Yeah.
Okay. So now this next year, 12/31/2026, and I'm like, Sophia then it's been off for 2-3 months and I don't see nothing going on with Her Voice Impacts. I'll be mad.
Yes, please be mad. Please be mad. Please be mad.
I'm just saying, I'm gonna be a little okay now, Sophia. Like, where we at? And so when you hit go, like, when you look around, like, you're not gonna see Shanaydra just disappear for even like a week or two. That's why you put systems in place that even when you can't show up, there's something that's going out there, certain things that's still out there flowing, because people need to know, like, and trust Sophia. Not that Sophia showed up in December and we don't still see Sophia again until March or April. Yeah. Of course, life happens, we know, but When
Correct.
you're building something, it needs to have that consistent presence. Sophia, let's make sure we have a clean segment for all of your contact information. If there is a website or anything you want to share for Her Voice Impacts or any social medias, anything you want to share for connection points, I want to make sure we have a clean segment for you to do that.
Okay, I have my social media. I only on social media. I'm building a website. So my social media is Instagram at Sophia Coulanges. That's Coulanges. And that's on Facebook and on Instagram right now. And that's where you can find me.
Oh yeah, that was another thing. I say Coulanges. I say where they came from. I seen that name. I say I ain't never.
I'm Haitian, so it's French.
I know it's so flowing through that. I say, oh yeah, I see. I say that's some a little, a little different. Coulanges. Okay, we got it. We got it. Let me tell you something. I am so happy, Sophia, that you came and you spent some time with me here on the show. It means a great deal to me. I really hope that this also too puts something in your heart as well. I tell people all the time, these podcasts for me, it's more than a podcast. It is reciprocity in action. Reciprocity is one of my favorite words. It's actually on my board over there because I have to make sure that I'm living a reciprocal life. It's never about all the things that Sinead deposits. I am a sponge. And I'm always here to get a variety of perspectives because it makes my walk a little bit lighter. I literally see the world as a whole entire different place. And just some podcasting a little bit over a year and change now, I am not the person I was when I started Sophia. And that's what this journey is all about. Now, this is the part of our show we cue our guests for final thoughts. We ask them to give us some great parting words for this space and really something that captures the essence of Sophia. So I'll be over to you for final thoughts and I'll be back to close the show.
Okay. So my final thoughts is that listen, your voice matters, your story matters. Do not, when you walk into rooms, allow the room to adjust to you. Don't shrink for it because you were made to stand tall. You were made on purpose, for purpose, and this is your time to shine. This is your time to be seen because of who you are. So stand tall, be beautiful, be bold, be courageous, be authentically you. The best confidence someone can wear is their authenticity. So wear it as a garment because you deserve it and your voice matters. Your voice matters and it's impactful. So use it in all the spaces you can. Use your voice. And I'm just so grateful to be a part of this great podcast. So listen in, stay tuned for more coming from Miss Washington.
Oh, I guess well that's my cue then. She said it's gonna be more coming for me. It better be more coming for Sophia too. Cause girl, I be about to fight half these guests that come on here. They just be sitting out there. Where's your y'all, let me tell y'all something. I've been back recording for about a week and a half, maybe right at 2 weeks, and I hadn't recorded prior. It's been since like August or so. People see them come out all the time, but we do a lot of batch recording. And this past couple weeks, man, it's been a different flow in these podcasts. I don't know if it's something that I've unlocked in myself that allows this place just to feel that much better, but I can't. Like, I really can't thank y'all enough for coming through because I've really, truly had the past 2 weeks of recording, Sophia, have been really transformative. Like I've had some good stuff that happened last year, but these 2 weeks, they were just so intentional. Like I couldn't even tell you how stacked those conversations were that kind of answered so many things I prayed for in physical time. So thank you for coming here. I don't take it lightly. And I tell everyone that's
Thank
out
you
there
for having me. Thank you.
Yeah, Her Voice Shines podcast land that miraculous things happen when you let your voice shine. And like the folk in church say, I love you, ain't nothing you can do about it, and you better come on back next time for another amazing woman.
Yes,
Sophia, you know what? Don't worry about me, Sophia. I do got good sense, just a little crazy.
You do.
They know it out there in the Her Voice Shines podcast land. We love you, we love you, we love you, and I'll be back in no time with another amazing woman. Until then, we are out.
Thank you.